Hey there, it's B202 here. In this video, I'll combine two Karcher power washers into a working one. Or almost working. Stay tuned. So I've got the two units apart, and to do that you just take out a number of Torx screws all around and then you snap off the plastic covers. If you can't get in that far by yourself, you're out of time on this job, I think. So looking at it, looking inside the two units, this is the K214 and this is the B212 over here. As soon as I opened this, I had a look and I could see that the commutator bar was a bit grimy looking and one of the brushes was cracked. When I turned it on, nothing happened, so I have a feeling the motor here is just dead. This one, on the other hand, I got this about a year ago now, and this pipe here was broken, so I spent 15 quid getting a new pipe, thought, yeah, it's going to work now. Plugged it in, and this thing here just leaked everywhere. So I know that this has frozen at some point in the past, but the motor works. So perhaps I can join the two of them. The outstanding piece of information that I don't know about yet is whether or not this unit has cracked, been subjected to frost or that. I know it was left outside for a while, but that doesn't mean it's full of water and frozen. The hoses were disconnected, so I'm optimistic that it's not. So I'm just going to potter away at trying to manipulate them into one working unit. So take off this. This is the outlet, I think, it's the inlet from the K214, and it has the same type of tab, or similar, yeah, same type of tab as the other one. See, these are of the same vintage, and I'm hoping that after all I'll be able to make a good one out of them. So I want to keep, what do I want to keep? I can't remember which bits are broken. I want to keep this bit together, and I want to keep this bit separate and take it off. So can I get this out of its plastic box? Let's see, and I want to put it into this plastic box over here. So I want to get this bit out of here and take the motor off and put all of the plastics into this box, because I like the B202 has a little caddy for holding all the bits, but then on the other hand the K214 is smaller overall. So it might be better to replace it all into this box. Yeah, I think the K214 takes up less space and you have to keep the hoses separate, but that's okay. So let's get into this one then and try and take the motor off. How is this all tied together? Right, there's the wires. There's a little capacitor down here, presumably for noise suppression, but I don't know that. Does this just lift off, or is it screwed on somehow? There's a little clip here. There we go, I'll pop that off. That comes out. Now, a couple of screws on each side. A longer screwdriver would be better. They're Torx, but they have this flat bladed feature that I've seen on Bosch garden tools as well. So yeah, I don't know if this unit's cracked or broken or not, but I know that it doesn't work, the motor doesn't work. That could be a switch issue, but I can see that the commutator bar is horrible and the brushes are horrible, so I'll take this apart. It's a bit greasy. I know that if you take these apart, sometimes they're full of fluid for the gearbox, like automatic transmission fluid or something similar to that, and that stuff goes everywhere. Let's get a better screwdriver. That's a bit better. Just big self-tapping screws to bite into the plastic. Now this thing is in the way here, so how does this clip off? Put the screwdriver in on each side and wiping that off. There's little things that engage with those little holes there. Peel that back and out of the way. That one's quite stiff. So I've never been into this machine before. This is the K2.14. I've never been in here before, don't know anything about the machine, and I don't know how to put it back together either, so I'm hoping everything's alright, the capacitor, etc. But we'll find out shortly. So we'll just pull apart now. That too. It should do, I think. There it is, to prise it off. There must be some kind of an engagement thing. Oh, shit. There's the oil. Okay. So there's a bit still in there, and I'm going to presume that that's enough. So hopefully it's the same kind of thing on the other end. Can I get that oil in? Wonder what sort of oil it is. Feels like like honey. Okay, you stay up that way. Right, I didn't know that, but I'll have to be careful on the other one. Let's wipe up that oil. So this one had a thing, the other one had a thing to catch. There's some little plastic clip on the bottom that wasn't there. It is. Okay, they're up and they're out. And this one's got to pop off. So screwdriver in, give it a twist on each side. That should get that switch off. Okay, get those cables out of the way. And we get in here to get these screws out again. Remembering this time that there's some kind of oil in here. I don't know if I've had this one off before, so before I snap it open, I'll try and capture as much of that oil as I can by doing it vertically rather than on the horizontal like last time. I think I've been in here, so I wonder if I could find the cracks for you. I think the cracks were in this plastic bit down here. Could probably identify them if I tried. I'll get it apart first. Can't see them right now. Let's take off this angled thing as well. The bit that costs so much money. Get these off. I think that angled thing was about 15 quid, and it's a weird one because like there's two different things. There's another one somewhere hiding. There's the other one. So like even though they look the same, this one comes at an angle because that's the way the little mouthpieces are arranged on them. So you need to get the correct one, and they've got different numbers, and you've got to buy genuine because there aren't enough of these things in the wild to be worth counterfeiting, I think. Need to make sure that gearbox just above in front of me, top of the camera there, doesn't fall over right vertical. Wiggle, wiggle. Oh, we're coming apart there. Whoops. The screwdriver in. That's it. Yes, we've saved the juice this time. Don't know how much is in there. Let's pour a bit of this back into this side if there is any coming over. Yeah, there's a little drop flowing in there. So the one on my left and on your left has plastic gears, but they look fine. The one on the right, the 202, has metal gears. There's loads more oil in there. Let's get a bit more in. It's probably a bit colder because, well, they were both outside, so I don't know. Yeah, metal, I think planetary gears is what they're called because they rotate around. So that's just draining across. I'll give that a minute. Okay, I've had enough of that. Let's clear that off. I'm pretty sure that that B202 has no gearbox oil in it, from what I recall. So now I've got the good gearbox here, the good motor here, and now I can't remember which way is up, nor can I remember if it even matters. So let's hope they just mesh and go in. The O-ring looks like it's in position. Yeah, that might do it. Yeah, so these are all street finds. I found the 214 in a skip today. Screw's a bit reluctant to go in. I'm reluctant to lay it down horizontal and rely on that O-ring. That's one. Before I tighten that up, I'll put one on the other side. So far in this project, because I bought that neck, that elbowed neck, I'm £15 down on this party. Now, I have no idea if this plastic here is cracked, and what happens is you turn it on, then it just starts to spew because the plastic here doesn't take frost. What I noticed on the other one, this metal aluminium gearbox has metal fins and metal insides. This one has no fins, no cooling fins, so its rating might be less, more of a domestic use thing, but all these little plastic ones are domestic. You're not going to get one of these in a petrol station washing cars. They're for the person who washes their driveway twice a year. Maybe washes their car periodically with it as well. So I know that the switch gear on this one is working because I took it off a working machine now. This is when I find out that motor is the wrong way around because this switch won't reach. So if I just pull the cables off, swap them over, it's a universal motor, so I don't think it makes any difference. So this little guy here, little horseshoe stirrup thing, and this little white guy has to go in there somehow, so I remember how to do that. Make nothing easy in these projects. I think if you just push it on, it goes. Is that right? Yeah. Seems about right. Okay, have to do. So put the black cable back on there, given that this motor's the wrong way around. The fact that I'm swapping the cables over won't make any difference to the direction of the motor or any of that kind of thing, it just doesn't matter. But this switch is not saying stuck, so see, it just wants to fall out, and I don't want that to happen. I wonder, does the case hold it in position? I guess we gotta find out. I think this flips over like this. Oopsie daisies. That's got the wrong thing on there. Pull that off. It's just a hose for detergent. Pull that off. Put that over there. Put this around like this. The capacitor slots into that box there. Does it fit? Why does this not fit? Something's different. Okay, let's try the other box. Yeah, it fits in this one. They're different arrangements of this. That doesn't make sense. It should be the same. I think that's everything. So then I think I need this one. And back here, have I forgotten something? I've screwed my screws on. So I think there's something going on with these cables getting tangled up and blocking the way. So I wonder, do they have to go underneath? Let's pull this one out. Yeah, okay, we've got one, and we're not far off. So that one's clipped. This end, I'm sure it's got to do with those cables in there that's not getting closed correctly. Right, let's look at it one more time. about that. I think that's my point of fed upness. I'm not sure why it won't go a little bit. That one's on, this one and this one. There's some wire in there that isn't correct, I'd say. That's it, clicked. Come on. Turn the closet the other side to come apart. Let's get it in. Now, let's get this unit back into, which one did I say I was going to use? I'm going to try the B202, I think. And this should hold it all together again. So we need to pull the hose across for the fluid. That's there. I need to put the nozzle on for the water out, which is this one. And slide this little thing in. Put it up correctly. There's a little filter in here as well, that little green dude. Oh, is that the correct one? Ah, so maybe this black thing here, by the looks of it, yeah, it'll only work with the angled one, so we might be on the K something or other after all. Yep, it'll only fit the other one, so okay, that's got to come out of there. B202, that's just the way it is. So that goes in like that, and that goes in like that. And then this one's got to come off because the other one laces through the machine. Probably got the wrong size switch on it now. Let's have a look at the other switch and see if the handle pulls off. I just found these things atrocious. On these Karchers, these switches are so flimsy. Doesn't want to. I'm sure the little one will do it, but just let your fingers in around it or some other thing like that. Alright. I think I would prefer to use the other hose. It looks like a better hose. There's a better filter on the end of it. It looks better overall and it's not all kinked. Put this little inlet back on here like this. Another one of these little clips in. There we go. So that's the outlet actually, not the inlet. So you see the way the knob is far more spacious there. That sits in position, and hopefully this will flip over without falling apart. Yeah, it's okay. And this comes down here, and that grommet slides in there. Which way it's meant to go? Yeah, like this. It's got a D shape on the grommet, so it only goes one direction, one way. Okay, and then maybe once again stuck on, screws, plastic, cable. I'd say that maybe has to go down there. Better. Yeah, it likes that better. Right, we're all back together. Screws back in. Put all the screws back in and put the little nozzle thing on the back. I have to get a nozzle to go in the front. I don't know if this pipe is clean, so I want to see if it'll run first. Oh dear. Off and the on are in the wrong place now. So that might be on, that might be off. It says on, it's off, and then it's off, and it's on. It's not right, but whatever. Bring it outside and see. So I've got the water coming into the back, a new hose, well, used hose coming out. I've turned it on and it makes a buzz before I put the water on, so I'll put the water on and give it a test. Something weird's going on there with the pressure. So as cleaning goes, it seems to work fine. I'm not entirely sure what that pulsing noise is from. I have a Bosch one that I use. Oh, I've made a mess over here. I have a Bosch one that I use, and it doesn't make that pulsing noise. That doesn't mean it's broken, but it doesn't sound right either. So if you have any idea what's wrong with it, let me know in the comments. I wonder, is it something to do with this switch and that little stirrup thing coming on and off wrong, that I've put it in incorrectly or something? I don't know. Let's have a look for the cracks. That's what I promised you. It was these guys here that were cracked, and you couldn't see the cracks like this now. There's one there, I think. Just get my fingernail on it. But they spew water at a ferocious rate whenever you let them. So I swapped out the switch, and it went together far easier that time, which makes me think I was, doing it incorrectly last time. The plastic all just snapped back together, no problem. So I'm gonna bring it outside and give it another spin. It's plugged in, it's turned on. Turn on the water. Let's see. Seems to work. If you know why it's making that pulsing noise, let me know. Not that one, the one when it's moving. It seems to be going on and off and on and off. Could be something to do with that valve, I don't know. Whoa.